My coach said something to me this week that maybe will change the entire relationship I have with decision making, forgiveness, and I think it would be crazy not to share with you this breakthrough that I had because I think it's so fucking relevant and something that as a coach myself witness and recognize within my own clients, but even having and being able to witness it in myself has been really beautiful, really beautiful. The context of the conversation I was having with my coach was around money. And if you've been in my world long enough, you will, or you probably know that money for me we've had an interesting relationship over the last couple of years. And what I shared with her was shame that I was feeling because I was telling her on paper, my business looks really great. I continue to, bring in high cash months. I'm so proud of the growth that I've been having, but it feels hard to celebrate because I've made such bad financial decisions in the past that the money that comes in is paying for those bad decisions. And what she said to me was, what if you actually didn't make bad financial decisions? And when she first said that, I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, I made really bad decisions. I maxed out credit cards. I took loans that I had no business taking out. I was at the very beginning of my coaching career, also in the throes of my divorce and appearing more successful materially than I was felt really important to me at the time. And so, yeah, I feel like I made a lot of decisions from impulse, from like needing to belong and feel accepted. And this thought that if I appeared more financially successful, like if I was carrying the designer bags, if I was traveling all the time and had like the nicer car and all of these things, that I would get more clients and that, I would be taken more seriously. And more importantly, that my family would take me seriously. And here's what's so interesting is like my family is amazing. My siblings and my parents have truly always had my back. Like they want me to do well. But having this concept in my mind for such a long time that I have felt like the fuck up of my family. And in no way was it that my family made me feel that way, but, I was always the one that found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I was labeled as the rebel. That all being said, it feels like my current success is paying for past mistakes. And it feels so fucking frustrating because I'm like, I should be further along, right? It's all the shoulds. I shouldn't still have this much debt. I shouldn't be feeling like it's not enough and all of these things. And I'm so upset about these bad decisions that I made. And that's why when she said that to me, like, what if you actually didn't make a bad mistake or bad financial decision was actually the words that we were talking about. And you just made a decision at a time in your life when you were doing the best that you knew how to do. And the first place my mind went was, well, that sounds like an excuse. I need to take responsibility, right? I need to own the things that I've done. And she was like, no, it's not about not taking responsibility. It's not about owning that. Because trust me, I have definitely reaped what I've sowed. Okay. I've done a lot of work in that arena so that I never find myself in that place again. But truth be told, when this shitstorm was all hitting the fan, which was early 2023, I was in a pretty bad place of survival. And I had a lower self-concept, and I feel like I needed that fake it till you make it vibe. And we all know that never works. That never sticks. And the person who's left feeling disappointed is always ourselves, because we can't shortcut. We can't dress up and put lipstick on something that just isn't ready yet. And I also feel like my ADHD was at an all-time high. Like I said, I was a couple years out from the divorce, and we had owned a business together. And there was a part of me that was like, I need to prove that I'm successful. I need to prove that being, owning that business together wasn't like all because of him. This was like, I had the ability to be an entrepreneur as well. And there was just a lot. There was a lot that I was grappling with. And so when I look back at that version of me, at that version of Kaitlin, I think about like, I just didn't have the tools. Because it's easy to say now that, of course, I would have chosen differently. I would have put myself in a better situation. I would have, asked for more support rather than doing it in a way that just didn't make sense. And that ultimately hurt a lot of people, specifically my family, because it put us in a really bad predicament, right? Taking out these loans and owing and again, making decisions. I'm trying not to say bad decisions anymore, right? Like that, when someone says something that powerful to you, it's like, oh, I need to instantly change the way that I say that. Because the way we say things is often the way our brains believe it. And going back to the conversation I had with my coach, is she's like, I will never not have my own back for a decision that I made at a time when I only knew what I knew. And I was like, well, fuck, if that isn't the power of coaching, I don't know what is. Because she was able to witness me. And again, if you've been in this world for long enough, you also know that vulnerability and being in this place where, I was very genuinely, I had big tears in my eyes on this call. And I just felt like I was exposing a part of myself that wasn't like the big high achiever and like go, 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 and I can do everything. And, I wasn't superwoman in this call. I was very much feeling defeated and sort of like, man, this really, it hurts. And so to be witnessed, to be called up, to be called out, to challenge my beliefs, I'm like, that is the true power of putting yourself in communities, because it is a group coaching program. Putting myself in a community that is led by someone who I trust, because again, coaching is about trust, that can see this and also say, we need to be done with this story. And it's been transformative, because I've been carrying this on my back with such shame. Like, I'm not deserving of what's next. And I need to just totally, pay for my sins and atone for my sins, whatever the word is, because of this thing that I did. And here's the thing. It's so opposite of everything I believe in, which is the be her now energy, right? I believe in the version of me that has the empire, that is completely financially free, that is serving and giving to communities of women all over the world. And that version of me does not fucking carry around shame. But here I have been carrying around shame and just calling it these I was a bad person. I made these bad decisions. And, it really took this one conversation for me to be like, what if I didn't make a bad decision actually? What if I just made a decision? What if I could neutralize it? It wasn't bad and it wasn't good. It was just a decision I make, and I I make decisions every single day, all the time, both microscopic and very big decisions all of the time. Why is this one getting all of the spotlight? And I wanted to share this today because I think that so many of us are carrying around shame and regret from the hard seasons of our life or our business, whether I hear a lot, maybe somebody had an affair in their relationship. Maybe somebody, got into really bad debt. Maybe it's the fact that, you've had to close your business and it just didn't work. Maybe it's mental health stuff. Maybe it is going through a divorce, religious trauma, whatever it is, these really big moments we have in our life that we have given massive significance to that somehow get the spotlight when they don't deserve the spotlight, because we need to neutralize it and start acting like the version of us that knows how to run a successful business, that knows how to have financial freedom, that knows how to be fit, that knows how to live abundantly, that knows how to have good relationships. Because in truth be told, those were just decisions we made at a time in our life when we had whatever tool we had. So I want to remind you that you are not, in fact, reckless. We are merely surviving. Okay. And that is a great thing. You are building. You are figuring it out. We are figuring it out. Okay. This is not just a you thing. I get to include myself in this too. We are fucking figuring it out in real time without a roadmap. And that experience is fucking painful sometimes. And it also is incredibly joyful and fulfilling. And there isn't a course, there isn't a program that can teach us these things. And sometimes it's just inevitable that we have to experience it. So here is something I want you to understand as you're processing all of this and maybe thinking about something you're carrying shame around is I really want you to understand that business and success is compounding. Nothing you do, whether it leans more good or bad, right? Even though we're trying to neutral, not one thing that you do will create any kind of result overnight. Absolutely nothing. Even if it feels overnight, it is not random, because what you're doing today impacts what happens 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now. And most of us are allowing the shame to give up right before the magic happens. Maybe you're having a slow start to the year, or maybe something has happened that you just feel like, why am I running a business right now? This feels really hard. Or like, is this really for me? Or am I meant to do this? And you are right on the cusp of the breakthrough, but you're questioning everything and you're allowing past quote unquote bad decisions or shame to determine if you are worthy or cut out for this. And what I want you to know to be true is that you are worthy. You are worthy of success. You are also worthy of showing up like the fucking queen that you are. Okay. And I want you to just take a moment today and go find a mirror. We don't do this often enough. We look at ourselves every day, maybe to put on our makeup or fix our hair or get dressed, whatever it might be, but we don't actually look at ourselves. And I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to look in the mirror at your eyes, eyeball to eyeball, and I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to neutralize the decision, because I'm telling you it can happen this fast. I want you to neutralize the decision and recognize, hey, babe, you were doing the best you could with the tools that you had. It's time that we start showing the fuck up for our dreams and start acting like the badass bitch that we are. Okay? Because every stumble has made you smarter, more grounded, more resilient. And the struggle is not a detour. It's just fucking part of it. And it's what allows you to serve with such fucking strength. So I want to give you the same reframe. Think about the decisions that you're carrying shame in right now, the investment that didn't work out, the launch that flopped, maybe the toxic client that wasn't a good fit. Maybe it was a decision to pivot that cost you a lot of time and money and didn't transpire. And what if none of those were actually bad decisions? What if? What if they were just a decision? What if it was a woman who was figuring it out? What if it was a woman who was brave enough and courageous enough to fucking try? What if it was a woman who was just doing her best that she knew at the time? Because that woman deserves massive grace, not judgment. Also deserves praise, because a lot of people, they're not making that choice, okay? And you are deciding to continue to show up every single day. So I want you to trust the compounding, trust the decisions you've made, forgive yourself for things that you're carrying around that you can let go of, and know that everything that you're desiring is on the other side of the choice to show up like the part of you that knows how to do this, okay? Because you couldn't possibly think about it if it wasn't already yours. That is one of the most powerful laws of manifestation. We can't even dream about something if a future version of us doesn't already have it and isn't already experiencing it. So just remember that, okay? I love you so much. Go release that shame, baby. Go find that mirror. Go look yourself in the eyes. And I will see you back here next week. If you found this episode helpful, please be sure to subscribe. Your girl's got a handheld mic now, so we are going to be getting deep and personal. I'm loving this thing. It's such a different vibe. And as always, share with a friend, share on your socials, tag me at The Beam Life, and I will see you back here next week.